What's going on, guys, and welcome back to AFL SuperCoach here with my round 8 review. As you can see here, had a really good week. So, got the 2277, which put me good enough to go top 2%. And really, the massive movement was the overall season rank. So, pretty much, almost halved it, coming in from 14,000 into now 8,000. So, really happy with this. Absolutely can't complain regarding that rank and moving and shaking regarding overall ranking, which is exciting. It's been a long time coming. So, I'll get into the team now so you can see how I did. Okay, all right, going line by line as we do historically start with defense. Lockie Whitfield, 117. Not so easy matchup for defenders being Gold Coast, but Lockie Ash moving into seemingly the midfield. I think he had like 60% in the midfield Ash, which has really left Whitfield to have the monopoly back there for the Giants, which is good. Had him since the start of the season, so starting to repay the faith now, which is good. Sinclair, look, in a bit of a form slump, but still, going to be thereabouts, D1, D2, and can't really complain with his output throughout this year. So, a bit of a form slump for him, and I think it's more just, not using the ball to the best of his ability, but he is also, generally a really good ball user. So, unlike Sinclair, but still happy to own him. Clarkey, he's a bit up and down, isn't he? And he's been more down the last few weeks, unfortunately. And he's, I think he is a relatively unique pick. What's his ownership? 18%. So, sort of yes and sort of no. We'll put him down as a pod, but definitely a difference maker in most matchups. If he goes well, I usually go well. Danny Houston. So at a crossroads with Danny Houston probably 3-4 weeks ago. Do we get rid of him? Do we not? Made the decision to hold him. Knew we had the MCG run coming up, and repaying the faith. That's a few good scores now back to back for Danny Houston. Some frustrated owners that would have traded him out. And I don't blame you for doing that, but holding him, seemingly paying the faith, and he, to be honest, he might get a 50 next week. So, we'll see how that all plays out. Farrow doing rookie things. He's now, break even of 63. So, look, he could be moved on. You could hold him. He's not going to lose that much cash, I don't think. He's already started to go down, but he does have what we think is a good role. And whether he goes is more of a to be confirmed, but he absolutely could be traded if he's your only option there. Blamires, got lucky with the late in on Friday with Blamires, got how many more points? 18 more points than I would have had I had Marshall on and looped in ZZ. So had Marshall gone really well, I would have popped ZZ on field, but not to be, and dodged a bullet there with Marshall, who so up and down this year. And at that price, you sort of just have to hold and hopefully he comes good. ZZ, dead rookie, but using him for a loop. Heaney, super tempted to trade him. Was it last week when he was laid out? Or not named, sorry. That doggies matchup. Glad I held. What's his break even at now? Break even of 170. He'll be coming down. So for those that don't have him, could maybe look in a couple of weeks. Butters did well. All things considered, he's been going pretty well this season. 117, really can't complain with that. When you see how some of these other midfielders went. If you skip ahead, Nick Dacos, 103. So he's had a couple of poorer scores by his standards in recent time. Just butchering the ball. Again, one of, if not the top sort of 2-3 best players in the comp, but he's not using it well by foot at the moment. LDU, bounce back game for LDU, 112, pretty much going at his average. What's his break even at? 153, so he's going to start to come down as well. But he's been, a superstar this year. Starting pick for us, pod. What's his ownership percentage at now? 9%. Yeah, absolutely, still a pod. Yeah, when Sammy Walsh and Sarong, to be honest, that's a bit of disrespect. I was going to loop both Walsh and Sarong together as underperformers, which they were last week, but Walsh is definitely better than Sarong regarding SuperCoach. How much? Yeah, 21%. So Walsh and Sarong. I'm so tempted to off Sarong. Like, what are we talking about here? What are we talking about? So I traded him in at this Collingwood matchup. He's averaging 117 or 118 at this point. And then 73, 97, 76, 63. Let me just get the calculator up on my phone and work out what I traded this dude in for an average at 562,000, mind you, as well. 73 plus 97 plus 76 plus 63. Divide that by 4. 77.25. Sarong. Thanks for not much. And the thing is now he's bottomed out in price. What's his break even? 147. Like, knowing my luck, you trade him out and he literally scores that against Hawthorn next week. I'm tempted to trade, but also know that if I do trade, I'm pretty much taking the L there. So I'll watch this space. Murdoch doing rookie things. His cash is going up and can't complain with him. Break even 41. So still going to make some cash. But it's slowing down in cash gen as well. So watch one to watch. Rechko was a must trade in last week. How much should he go up by? 61,000. Unreal. Keep making some money. Rechko, obviously on-field scoring, bit suspect, but rookies, what else do you expect? Anderson, disgusting score. Glad he's on my bench because he's on the field for a lot of people. The thing with Anderson is his cash gen's now likely to stall unless he gets a big score in the next one. So watch this space there. Unfortunately, maybe not making it the front as we hoped. Dyson Sharp. So this was a fortunate surprise. I had held Sharp for a couple of weeks now. And pretty much like a dead rookie. He's come back. He's played, I think it was 60 to 70% in midfield for centre-bouts. And, a pleasant surprise, put it that way. And I'll definitely take it. And his break-even now is 2. So reset his cash gen. And if he keeps going with 60s, 50s, be stoked with that because I thought he was not coming back at all. Watkins, dead rookie. We'll see if there's anything we can do there, but he does have the DVP, which is nice. Here is the saviour for the week, Tristan Xerri. So he was my trade-in when I saw the matchup for Xerri against Geelong, and Geelong didn't name Stanley or anyone else to help Mitch Edwards, poor bloke. Obviously talented footy player, but super young and super light frame. We knew Xerri was going to bully him around, especially GMHBA, smaller ground as well, narrower ground, so more stoppages put the C on him. Who was my BC? Nick Dacos. Yeah, when Nick Dacos failed, went on the C on Xerri, and look, could have been higher as well, to be honest. I think he started slowing down in the fourth, especially when North were starting to, I don't want to say get their ass handed to them, but they were definitely starting to lose, and at the point that pretty much the game was done by that point. Just got a hot chocky here. And all right, we got now Maxi gone. Ruck sharing with Max Heath. He saved this score. The last half, he went not ballistic, but he definitely massive improvement on the first half. It was almost like Heath and Gawn sort of switched roles after half time, and the Mychek injury certainly didn't help by any means with Gawn scoring. But look, gonna have to hold. Nothing else I can really do there, and hope that sort of Heath pretty much doesn't get selected, to be honest, and Gawn solo ruck. Reedy, I traded in Reedy, not so much that I thought Reedy was going to be a gun, more the fact of the DPP switches to make the money. He was on the bubble. I switched him obviously with ZZ going back to defense. And what did Reedy, if I click onto Reedy, sorry, how much money did he make? He made 40K. and he might even get dropped this week. And that's just the reality. But I'm assuming that Pitnet year ahead will not play the full season. So hopefully Reedy can have a couple of games by himself, maybe a couple of games ruck sharing. And if he makes 100K, happy days. If he doesn't, so be it. He can be a loop. And we keep moving. Sheasel got tagged. And I don't know if he's been impacted by that hand. But yeah, obviously below his stance, but everyone has him, so nothing much to see there. Truck, how much is his ownership now? 50%. Jesus, that's surprising. So a lot of people would have traded into him in the last 1 or 2 weeks since coming back. And rightfully so. Look at that. Like just 136 in your forward line, like absolute gun. Probably leading the Brownlow at the moment, even with the absences. Just had a couple of 3-vote games, and this is probably one of them. So yeah, happy to have Track back at the team, especially in that forward line, that weak-ass forward line. Pickett got tagged, 113. Like, he's now literally bona fide superstar of the comp, but also SuperCoach as well. He would have been for, what was he, at this earlier in the year, by way of his overall price, it would have been a bargain. Started at 490, stayed at 490, 5 years. So he's put 60K on his starting price, and to be honest, not slowing down either. Has West Coast this week. If you don't have him, it's going to be a nervous watch. I'll put it that way. Flanders, yeah. Like, disappointing by his standards, and thought he would be a lot better than this in the whole season, not only just this game, but yeah. What are you going to do with him? Like, not going to trade him to anyone. You just let him sit there. Cook, super impressed. Goal winner at the showdown. Like, he is absolutely, he's giving us everything regarding 197K he's made. Unreal. Last couple of weeks, like in the forward line, this is just gold. 80, 60, 63, 99, 72, 94. What's his 3-round average? 3-round average of 88. Like, unreal. And still making money. Like, he will make money the next couple of weeks and then be done. But look, cannot complain with that. Speaking of not complaining, Philippou, 80, going up in price. Comfortable with him at F6 at the moment. Saves me having to field your Lombards and Dobsons of the world, especially not Dobson. Jesus Christ. I don't even think he played 50% game time, Dobson. Lombard, bit of a spike game. Got to take that. And also Lindsay made a heap of money back off the 130 he scored the other week. He's made 220K. He's done his job. Made 40K last week. Look, his break-even is probably going to catch up with him pretty quickly. Not now, though. He's only got 8. That 130 is going to stay in system for the next 1 to 2 weeks. So, yeah. So that's, a summary of the team and where we landed. And, pretty happy with, obviously, overall performance led by Xerri there. A couple of other standout performers. So, in terms of trades-ins and trade-outs this week, so just looking at the competition here, Cumming, he's pretty much, I wouldn't say a must-have, especially on that price, but tempting, very tempting, especially as an on-field option. Burton, just purely based on that cash, unfortunately doesn't have the defensive status. If he had the defensive status, I think he'd be a lot more enticing, but not to be. Bustlinger, I think I'm going to pass on Bustlinger based on price, but also job security. I don't know if he'll be there in a week or two's time. I think he should be playing, but I just don't know if the Dogs will give him a go. I'd keep him in over Selwood, but that's obviously, I'm not the coach of the Bulldogs, so how am I to know? Bont, I don't have Bont. He's on one knee at the moment, so the best thing that I can do is hope that he isn't out this week, rested, or in the next couple of weeks. People potentially trade him out or hold him. That's another primo that I have over the other people. And away we go from there. And one I might have to watch for the moment. His break-even is achievable at 98. But that knee is very concerning. I think Beveridge even said that he might rest him. So watch this space. And Finn is super, super tempting. I'm going to go and get into some planning for my buys, and I might as well do that right now. Let me just do this and bring over my notepad. All right, let me get rid of this. Okay, I'll move my freaking head. All right, here we go. Okay, so in terms of buy round planning, you can see here, I might just open up for a bit bigger. I don't know if that even helped, to be honest. Let's go. No, whatever. Okay, hopefully you guys can see that. I might as well just make it in smaller. So yeah, my buy round planning is there, and just going through that. So I've targeted some players that I'm interested in. So defense got Naz, Ash, Jacos, being Josh Dacos. Mid, Finn, McCluggage, Bont, Baz, or Holmes. Pretty much treating them as equals at the moment. Same team. Ruck putting it in the flex being the fact that I've got Gorn and Xerri. So if I get another Ruck, which obviously I do want, because they're just, even with the Ruck rules changes, they're still the highest scorers, highest ceiling. So Grundy and Jackson there. I had the choice of getting Jackson or Xerri this past week, and I got Xerri. Content with that, based on the fact that he scored 20 more than him. But at the end of the day, Jackson's still a gun. He's been so consistent this year. Forward, Horn Francis, Rankin, Took, and I'm just a bit skeptical on the forward options at the moment. I think it's, I don't mind having Philippou and Cook there. There's some of the most value options in the forward line, but still. Anyway, moving on from that point. So I've got my current buy structure here by way of, each round, how many primo players I have off. Round 12, 5, 13, 1, 14, 5, 15, 1, 16, 4. So what I've done here is pretty much highlighted the rounds I want to target, that being round 13 and 15, and then the players I want to target as well. So although I've got plans here for multiple different players, multiple different teams, really the players I'm targeting the next 1 to 2 weeks are Ash, Finn, McCluggage, Grundy. That's it. So I have had to play around with trades to get both Finn and McCluggage in, and I'll show you how I go about doing that now. I don't know if I'll actually do this particular trade that I'm referring to. I just think it's a bit too aggressive. But anyway, I'll show you what that looks like. So, Blumier is out. I'm going to move my head up higher. There we go. Blumier is out. I think it was, Lindsay back to defense. And it was Sarong. Sarong, the headache. And I boost. And I'm pretty sure it was another mid because I couldn't do it any other way. I don't remember. I think it was Murdoch. Yeah. Okay, so this looks good. So with this, let me just make that a bit smaller so I can see. Yep. Okay. So coming for the cash gen. Then Finn. Oh no, it's not enough cash. Who did I trade? Unless it wasn't coming. Did I skip out on coming? Let's say I skip out on coming and I get Burton instead. Yep, that works. Luggage. Back to Lindsay. Yep, back to defense. Luggage. So complete trades. So looking at that, so what's the downside and the pros and cons pretty much. So pros, I get 2 primos instead of 1. I also support my buy structure, so I'll bring that back up again. My buy structure. So you can see here, my buy structure. I'll be bringing in 1 round 13 buy and then 1 round 15 buy, and also getting rid of a round 14 buy as well in Sarong. So it'll change to effectively 2, 2, and then 4, which is really nice. It keeps things a lot more even. So let's say I lock that in. Make this full screen again. Let's say I lock this in, confirm. Let's see how the team is looking. So what am I left with to upgrade? Let me move my luggage to the... Who do I want to put here? Anyway, I'll move that for the moment. What am I left with? I got 2 defense spots to fill. Farrell and Lindsay are both, I would say, they're confident on-field scorers for the moment. I've got 1 mid spot left, who could be Bont, could be any other guys that you saw, Holmes, Baz, any of those guys. I want it to be Bont, but who knows regarding his knee and all the rest of it. Anyway, I got Burton here. I could, loop Sharp, Anderson, Burton, and then even look at, I can play around with this, but effectively all I'm trying to get to the point of is there's 2 defensive spots left, 1 mid, 2 forward, and 1 flex. So let's say I've got 21 trades left. Let's say at a worst case scenario, I need 3 trades for each slot, which I won't. I'll likely have cash and that'll be fine. But let's say worst case scenario is 3. So go 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18 with 3 trades left for injuries. I don't think I'm going to need 3 trades for every single move. Like, for example, Farrow and Lindsay. If I go Farrow down to someone, Lindsay up, I get a primo. The others are more of a to be confirmed. Rich guy have to fatten up. Philippou and Cook is a good example. Philippou down, Cook up, primo, done. So I like this. It's aggressive. I don't know if I'll lock this in. The other move might be, if I confirm this out, I could also simply do a double down as well. So I think Blamirez is pretty much done. So if I go Blamirez to, say it's coming, complete, got 179,000. And then say, I could get rid of Cook and get someone, but Cook, I don't want to get rid of Cook though, because I think, I don't like that. See, if I get rid of Murdoch, I can't afford anyone, I don't think. How much is my luggage? No, can't afford him. Instead of Blamirez, let's undo. Actually, instead of Blamirez, let's move Farrow. Keep Blamirez. Not that I want to keep Blamirez, but it is what it is. Got Cumming. What if I do that and trade Murdoch? I do have enough. I like that. Don't have much cash left in the bank, but I like this. I can loop Marshall and Blamirez like I did last week. Cummings my flex. I trust Cumming on field. Absolutely, with his scoring. Rechko. I like this as well. And to be honest, Sarong, as much as it pains me, he should bounce back. So yeah, I'm just playing around with that. I might do something. I'm even trying to get Finn instead of Hugh, but it's more of a to be confirmed. Regarding captain choices for this week, Freo and Hawks, I'm not doing strong. That's for damn sure. Carlton and Brisbane, no. Port and Western Bulldogs. Oh, Butters is tempting. North and Sydney. Sydney, obviously, Heaney. I think you'll get the Finn O'Sullivan tag. Not that I don't think Finn can go with him. I don't think anyone can go with Heaney, but it is what it is. Giants and Essendon. Geez, Whitfield would be sneaky. Very sneaky. I don't know if he has the ceiling, though. That's the thing. Gold Coast versus Saints track. I don't even know if I have a loop, to be honest. So, yeah. I'm going to have a look at this, but what's Xerri got? We get Grundy, yeah. Gawn. If Gawn was solo ruck, that'd be a nice C. If Heath is not named, I might lock that in. Anyway, I'll sort this out throughout the week. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Hope you enjoyed, and see you in the next one.